Welcome to the Angus Report, a news program for cattle producers.
The week's top headlines from American Angus Association headquarters include another year of record-breaking U.S. beef exports.
Washington, D.C. takes up a dietary debate over new guidelines.
Cattlemen in the Southwest look for quality genetics as they rebuild their herds, and how Angus breeders can use a new online auction service to market their cattle.
This is the Angus Report. Hello, I'm Bob Cervera.
And I'm Crystal Albers.
Our top news this week. U.S. beef exports are expected to have set another record-breaking year in 2013, topping almost $6 billion worth of beef product sent abroad. According to the United States Meat Export Federation, last year's beef numbers will eclipse the 2012 record by about $500 million. And considering the U.S. currently exports about 13% of the cattle raised, the estimated value equals more than $240 per animal slaughtered. Mark Jagels of the U.S. Meat Export Federation says this value can be contributed to the high-quality standards of U.S. beef.
Since they went to 30 and under here 1st of February, we've seen exports increase over 50% to Japan alone. We are very close, or almost have exceeded pre-BSE levels on the export side to them. So they are a very valued customer. But we have to be cognizant that we have to continue to do market access and market development in these other countries, because we have to continue to open markets because we see what our domestic consumption is doing. And if we're going to throw more cattle into the mix, more cow-calf, we're going to increase that total pounds that we're going to raise, and we've got to find a market for it.
Many cattlemen who face tough decisions during the multi-year drought are now focused on what it will take to rebuild their operations. Riddell Tyner, who serves the American Angus Association as regional manager in Texas and New Mexico, says breeders there are focused on finding the best cattle to add back into their herds. All eyes are on high-performing females, Tyner says, and the seed stock producers who could supply those genetics.
There's high demand right now. People are looking for bred heifers and even open heifers. So I think that guys that have those available, it's a great opportunity to be able to sell them, and I think they'll be able to get a premium price on those animals. They're also using the additional genomic test information to select the absolute best females that they possibly can for replacements, so that the risk is very minimal in purchasing those females.
Tyner suggests contacting an American Angus Association regional manager when looking for cattle to add to your herd. Visit angus.org to find a regional manager in your area.
Every 5 years, Washington, D.C. turns its focus toward nutrition policy while it considers new recommendations for dietary guidelines. The 2015 process began in January, and decisions made in the coming year will significantly impact what Americans consider part of a healthy diet. Christina Butts of the National Cattlemen's Beef Association says it's more important than ever that protein, and beef specifically, remains part of those dietary guidelines.
We did have testimony presented talking about the latest research that would show that protein and beef being included in a diet is actually great for Americans. But unfortunately, the conversation is centering around should meat even be on the list? And if meat is on the list, should it be beef? And they're bringing in the entire concept of sustainability. I think a lot of people watching might remember the school lunch recommendations to put limits on protein and grains for the school lunch and breakfast programs. Well, all that was based on the 2010 dietary guidelines. So it is important to make sure we get these 2015 dietary guidelines correct, but it's going to take a lot of people to make sure that we're weighing in to support making sure that protein, and beef specifically, stays part of those dietary guidelines for Americans.
Visit beefusa.org to learn more. Tyson has announced plans to implement its on-farm audit program, known as Farm Check, on beef operations beginning this year. The company announced the initial program in 2012, saying it would implement an on-farm audit program for all livestock suppliers to reassure both retailers and customers regarding animal handling and treatment. Tyson implemented its pork audits last year, and poultry audits were slated to begin last month. Company Vice President for Animal Well-Being, Dean Danielson, told ranchers at the Cattle Industry Convention in Nashville that the beef audit system remains in development, but will likely debut later this year. The audit reportedly includes animal welfare training and self-checks, as well as site checks from an independent auditor who ranks on-farm practices. According to the March Angus Beef Bulletin, if less than acceptable conditions arise, Danielson says the company will work with producers to improve. We go now to Jenna McCrell with a look at news you need to know this week in the Angus business.
Thanks, Bob. Social media sites like Facebook and Twitter allow Angus breeders to show us what they're up to each day on the ranch. This photo comes to us from Rimrock Angus in Blackfoot, Idaho, where 4th-generation Angus breeder Connor Hansen celebrated 100 days of school with 100 head of Angus cattle. Thanks, Connor. And we'd love to see your photos on the American Angus Association's Facebook page. And those classic prints Connor used in his project are some of the association's famous collection of Frank Murphy artwork. Odds are, if you're in the Angus business, you probably have some hanging in your home too. The largest collection of Murphy's work is on display here at the association headquarters, and you can see the art in person during the tour scheduled in conjunction with the 2014 Angus Means Business National Convention and Trade Show, and that will be held next November in Kansas City. The Henry C. Gardner Scholarship is awarded each year to continue the legacy of Henry Gardner and his passion for beef cattle genetics. Among this year's outstanding recipients are 2 National Junior Angus Association members, Esther McCabe of Elk City, Kansas, and Lindsay Upperman of Chambersburg, Pennsylvania. And that's what's happening this week in the Angus business.
Thanks, Jenna. When the Angus Report returns, how Angus cattle add value beyond the pasture gate.
And we take a look at the new Angus Auctions website and the partnership between DV Auction and Angus Productions Incorporated.
Visit Angus.org to continue watching this episode of the Angus Report.
The Angus Report is brought to you by Merck Animal Health. Why not prevent respiratory disease before it steals from your bottom line? Vista Once protects your calves with the most complete respiratory disease coverage available. And Vision Blackleg vaccines can add 14 pounds per calf at weaning. Contact your veterinarian or animal health supplier today.
Join the team, the Beef Quality Assurance Team. Getting BQA certified shows you're committed to practices that produce the highest quality beef in the world. And by visiting BQA.org, you can take the online certification course at a time that fits your schedule and from the comfort of your home or office. You'll also find lots of helpful tips on improving animal health and animal handling practices. Get certified, BQA certified, because it's about doing the right thing. Visit BQA.org today and become a member of the BQA team.
Its arrival is as routine as the truck that brings the next load of calves. You stand ready, waiting, watching for symptoms. A revolutionary new weapon in hand. Unique chemistry and hard-hitting active ingredient. Longer duration in the respiratory tract. Rapid absorption. Join the Zuprevolution. Zuprevo, Tilda Pearson. See your veterinarian.
Bull sales are more than marketing cattle, and it's more than just our livelihood. It's our life's work, our passion. It's in our blood. Thomas Angus Ranch thanks you for another successful bull sale season. Without you, there would be no Thomas Angus Ranch. So here's to you. Thank you for investing in Thomas Angus genetics to not only improve your herd, but also the nation's Angus cattle herd. Thomas Angus Ranch, the brand that covers the nation.
It's more than a symbol. It's volunteer beef and dairy producers like you making careful decisions on how to invest your beef checkoff dollars. It's about multiplying those dollars to ensure the beef you produce makes its way to more meat cases, menus, and kitchen tables from New York to Tokyo. And it's about making sure those who influence our consumers feel confident about recommending beef. It's more than a symbol. Get to know your checkoff and start sharing your views at mybeefcheckoff.com.
When forage quality is low, power your cow herd with VitaFerm Power products. Power Keg, Power Meal, and Power Lick Tub. All 3 deliver natural 20% protein and are fully fortified with Amaferm, the digestive enhancer, and can septate levels of vitamins and minerals like copper, zinc, and manganese. VitaFerm Power products include the minerals your cattle need to maximize reproduction and health, which means you don't have to feed minerals separately. VitaFerm Power products for cattle on mature forages, crop residues, or low-energy hay. Learn more at VitaFerm.com.
Schiefelbein Farms is all about family. Schiefelbein Farms is one of the largest registered Angus herds with more than 700 cows. Schiefelbein Farms is customer service. Our customer buyback program ensures top dollar for our customers' calves and ensures the use of high-quality Schiefelbein bulls. Schiefelbein Farms, changing the way seed stock business gets done. Learn more at www.schiefelbeinfarms.com.
Harness the power of the industry's most comprehensive DNA test for Angus cattle, the GeneSeek Angus GGP HD. The GeneSeek Angus GGP HD improves reliability of EPDs in young animals and those with low accuracy EPDs. Adding GeneSeek Angus GGP HD information on a day-old calf is just like adding progeny data, without waiting 2 to 3 years. Because DNA testing is not influenced by environment or management, the GeneSeek Angus GGP HD gives your customer a better view of how that animal will work in their herds. GeneSeek and Igenity, partnering with Angus since 2009 and delivering innovation to the industry. Learn more at neogenagrogenomics.com.